Hello, Northeast Magnet. This is Principal Matt Kreisman. I'm excited to share with you today an idea that I think we can kind of view as a lifeline maybe for everyone. I'll talk to you a little bit about this as we go through so that hopefully when we're finished, you'll understand what we're looking at doing, why we're looking at doing it, and how it can help you and how it can help everybody else. So we're going to talk about Asynchronous Wednesdays. First thing I want to tell you is thank you very much. Staff has reported to me several times that you guys have been great in the remote learning process, especially where it comes to being patient, helping people out. I know it's really frustrating for you. It's frustrating for staff. It's frustrating for parents, frustrating for us when we're looking at technology that doesn't always work like it's supposed to. When everything goes like it's supposed to, it's not so bad, but when we're struggling with it, I know that that's difficult. So I just want to say thank you for the attitude and the way that you guys are approaching this. I know it's not what we want to do, but you guys are making the most of it and appreciate that. It goes back to patience, grace, and flexibility. Nothing about what we're doing right now is normal or what any of us would really like to be doing. But I think that as a team, we are all trying to work together to make the most of it. And I want you to know that I appreciate that and that teachers appreciate that. We need to continue with that attitude together as a team, knowing that we're going to have roadblocks along the way, but that we're going to make adjustments to try to make the best of it. So when we talk about asynchronous learning, like we're going to talk about today, or asynchronous Wednesdays, really what we're talking about is that flexibility and the ability to show grace. And that's what we're going to try to do for you and for staff with this. So the first thing is thinking about why are we trying to do this? Students and teachers are reporting to everyone really that they're feeling overwhelmed by the remote learning process. Again, some of that has to do with just the struggles with technology. Some of that has to do with the complete change in what school looks like. But I know that you guys are feeling it and staff is also feeling it. So it's definitely one place that we need to look at to try to figure out a way to help. We're also seeing a higher number in missing assignments, which is increasing the number of failing grades. We don't want you to put yourself in a place where you would have to make up classes in order to graduate. So we're going to try to do what we can right now to start to bring some of those grades up. Something that's really important to understand is that the end of the quarter is November 6th. The last day of classes for you, though, is November 5th. So November 5th, your first hour, your third hour, and your fifth hour, those classes end. Those grades stop at that point, and those classes go on your transcript. So if you have an English 1 class or an English 2 class for first hour, your first semester grade, because that's going to count as a semester, that first quarter this time, because you're only having this for the first semester. You don't have English second semester. That first semester grade or first quarter grade is going to go in as semester 1 grade. So it's going to be a half credit. So you're going to want to make sure that you're passing those classes. That's true for first, third, and fifth hour. It's not true for advocacy and seventh hour. Those are the 2 classes that will continue to go on because those are shorter classes. Yes, this is a strange schedule, but we've talked about this, and I know teachers are talking about this with you too. So please make sure that you're really focusing on all of your classes, but especially first, third, and fifth. And if you've got missing assignments, we want to try to get those made up so that we can make sure we pass those classes and do as well as you can. So this asynchronous learning will help both teachers and students get caught up. We'll talk more here in a minute. So asynchronous learning, what it's going to look like here that's going to be a little bit different is you will be given things that you can be working on and you will log out of your classes, and we'll talk about this in a minute. You'll log out of your classes and you will be working on your assignment, and in some cases there are going to be a lot of different types of things that you'll be working on. It may not take you the entire hour. It may just take you a portion of the hour. If you finish your assignment during that portion of the hour and you have something else you want to work on, you can do that. If you finish that assignment during that portion of the hour and you don't have anything else that you need to be working on, then that time is yours. It can be kind of a break during the day. What the process is going to look like, and this is going to start for us tomorrow, will be the first time. You guys are going to log into all your classes at the regular time. So our schedule will remain exactly the same as it is right now. So you will start your first hour at 7 o'clock. You'll log in and teachers will take attendance, and then they're going to let you know what it is that they need you to work on. The first couple of weeks, we're going to focus on missing assignments. So if you've got missing assignments, this is going to be an excellent opportunity for you to get those done. And what I would try to do is get those done during this class and turned in during this class so that you don't need to worry about it. So tomorrow could be a really big catch-up day for you if you're a little bit behind. So we're going to focus on those missing assignments. So you'll sign in. Teachers are going to take attendance. They're going to let you know what they want to do, which tomorrow for the most part is going to be missing assignments. And then you'll be able to leave the meeting. So you'll be able to leave the class and just work on that assignment, whatever it is that you need to make up. As soon as you're done with that, your time is yours. So some of you may need help for that. One thing I want you to know, and I've talked to a few students about this, and it's really important to emphasize that what you're going to be doing on this day, these days, are not new learning. So teachers aren't going to give you a really difficult assignment that they haven't talked to you about and say, work on this, and then not be there to help. That's not what this is going to be about. It's about practicing something that you're already working on or a continuation of something that you're currently working on. So this would be a great thing if you guys were working on a project. You've already started the project. This might be a work day, so your teachers on Asynchronous Wednesday may tell you to continue to work on a project that you're already working on. Okay, that's a great thing for them to work with. If you're writing an essay or something like that, they might have you continue to write during that time. Practice could be, if it's math, it's a concept that you've already worked on, not new learning, maybe going back through and kind of practicing some of the skills that you've been working up to for the end of a unit test. So those are some of the things that you might look at seeing. If you do need help on these things, you can email your teachers questions. So you have the ability to do that, and they'll respond to you as quickly as they can. So this is kind of what it will look like as far as that goes. So again, it's not new learning. We're not going to give you something that's going to be really difficult and tell you to teach it to yourselves. That's not what this is about. It's about working on something that you've already been working on, that you know what you're doing with, and it's about practicing things that you've been working on. And if you do need the help, you have that help available to you. So another question that we're going to get asked often is, will all of my classes be doing this every Wednesday? And the answer to that is not necessarily. So this is going to be up to teachers to determine, based on their planning and based on what your needs are, what they're going to do. So some classes may do this every single week. They may plan their weeks to have a Wednesday asynchronous day. So you still, no matter what, are logging into your classes. Teachers are probably going to tell you before Wednesday, on Tuesday, what you're going to do on Wednesday as far as if it's asynchronous or a normal class. But you'll still log into your classes no matter what. Some classes, again, may participate all the time. Some classes may participate sometimes, and some may not participate at all. So some teachers may feel like they've kind of got things going in some classes that are maybe more project oriented. You may see that happen where you don't have the asynchronous Wednesday classes. So again, it could be a mixture. You may have a day where all of your classes participate. You may have a day where some of your classes participate. So some of the kinds of things that you might be asked to do. Again, the first couple of weeks, and as we move towards that November 5th, November 6th, end of the first semester or first quarter, which would be the first semester grades for hours 1, 3, and 5, we're really going to be focusing on missing assignments and make-up assignments. So if you have anything that you need to be working on in other classes, you might be thinking about that, and tomorrow you could probably get some, if not all of that caught up, but definitely over the next 2 weeks be able to take care of that. If you have those missing assignments and you get those caught up and you have other things you could be working on, you could do that if you chose to, or you could take a break between classes. Other things that teachers might ask you to do during Asynchronous Wednesday, which might not be the first couple of weeks, but they may ask you to read a section of a textbook, or they may ask you to read a couple chapters in a novel, something that they might have you doing as homework, so you would be able to do this here and save your evenings on that. The expectation would be the next day you may have a quiz over it, or you may have a discussion over it. So they may ask you to do something like that. But again, that's not something that you would need a whole lot of help with along the way. You may have a question or something you need to ask, and you could do that. They may ask you to continue researching for a project. So if you're working on a group project, a presentation or something, you may continue to do some research or putting together that project. Like I said, continuing to work on a project. If you're working on an essay, a writing day would be an excellent thing to be able to do here. If it's a math test is coming up and maybe they give you a review of some of the concepts that you have that might be a couple of days in advance to a test that you would be able to work through, and then maybe write down some questions you have so that the day before the test, if that comes on Thursday, because a lot of math classes test on Friday, if that were to come on Thursday, then you might be able to ask those questions during a review. A pre-assessment could be given during this time. So if they're getting ready to see what you know about a certain topic, even if you don't know it, they may just be assessing knowledge that you might have right now. That wouldn't be for points that would hurt your grade, but it might just be to get a feel for where you are. So sometimes teachers will do pre-assessments and post-assessments to see what you've learned about a topic. I know several teachers will have video clips that they may ask you to do. Mr. Albers sometimes uses some YouTube clips with some historical figures or historical speeches. He may ask you to do something like that where you watch a clip and then be ready to talk about it the next day. He may ask you a question or something that he will have you fill out for that. But these are the types of things that you'd be asked to do during that time. So these are some of the things that we could be working on. Part of the reason that we're thinking about this again is to try to help throw everybody a lifeline, to get people caught up and feeling like they're in a place where they can be okay and finish the semester passing classes or doing even better than that in their classes. Something that's really important to us as we think about you guys, and please know we miss you. This place is a whole lot better with you, so we look forward to a time where the school is safe for you to be here, the community is safe for you to be here. So please know that we do miss you. Make sure that you're making time for yourselves to do things that make you happy. Stay connected with your friends. If you're a person who, is having no problem doing that right now, that's great. Continue to do that. But if you've got a friend or an acquaintance that you haven't talked to for a while, you might reach out to that friend and just see how that friend's doing. If you're a person who hasn't really talked to anybody for a little while, you might check in with your friends. That's a good thing to be able to do. If you need help from teachers on things, I know that it's sometimes difficult when you're in a remote learning environment, and I've been in a lot of these classes and I've watched. Some classes have a lot of engagement, a lot of students asking questions. Some classes are kind of quiet. If you feel like you're in a classroom and it's quiet and you don't feel like you can ask a question or you're embarrassed to ask a question, don't hesitate to email a teacher. But I would really like you guys to get to a point where you could be more comfortable and ask those questions. But it is important that if you feel like you're lost in a class and you need help, that you do ask those questions. One of the last things that I want to do is make sure that you know that we do care and we have people here that are ready to help you if you need it. I don't know about you, but I can tell you that this last several months has been really hard on me. It's depressing, you as an administrator, as a teacher, as a staff member at Northeast Magnet, we didn't get into this school to sit in an empty school. There's a reason that I don't want to work anywhere other than in a building. I want to work with students, and when you guys aren't here, it's not as much fun for us. I've got to imagine that it's really difficult on you, being at home, not being around your peers all the time. If you're struggling with anything at school, you guys know how to get help. You know how to come to the office, how to ask, to talk to a counselor. If you're at home and in this environment and you're struggling with that, please call 973-2304. Miss Blades will answer the phone and she'll get you directed to somebody. Somebody will contact you. Either one of our counselors, social workers, psychologists, somebody will contact you and just check in with you. Again, we love you. We care about you. We want you to make sure that you're doing everything you can to be okay. But we also want you to know that we are here for you if you need it. Thinking about Asynchronous Wednesday and what we're looking at and how we can make this work for us, I also want to remind you that you have advocacy, and you would still check in with advocacy to take attendance, and you still have that time available. But right now, when we're looking at some data that I had a teacher present to me from checking with his classes, specifically about looking at advocacy, what he's noticing is that there are a lot of people who are not making time in advocacy to use that as a study hall to try to get things caught up. Please try to use that. We don't want you to have 3-4 hours of homework a night, which I'm hearing in some cases. You have that part of the day every day to be able to use. This Asynchronous Wednesday should be able to help get you guys caught up. Basically, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to ask that you return to your advocacies at this time. And if you have questions that you want to ask to your advocacy teachers, please ask that. But understand that this is a lifeline. It's there for you to try to help get you caught up and take away some of that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's there for teachers to help them get caught up. It's a reminder that we're all in this together. Thank you very much.